reality. Lies they've told for centuries.
Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. We know that knowledge is power. Now what does that mean? Well, it means that facts and information can give you control or dominion authority over others who do not have that information. It also means that if someone is giving you defective information, it's for the purpose of weakening you. It means you have an enemy and your freedom is at stake. So that's why it's so important to question the information that you're given. So in connection with this, we're going to look at a video that was posted by the Skeptic's Guide. And the video is based on a F-16 pilot who started asking questions. So let's have a look at the video, and then we're going to put what the Skeptic's Guide says to the test.
In a minute to put it to the test. Radar Mechanics 101, they built it for a flat, stationary Earth. There's no doubt about it. And my goal is for some young fighter pilot to listen to what I just said, go out tomorrow and set the bottom of your L strobe on your altitude, run it out there to 80 miles, and that bottom altitude on your cursor will stay the same out to 80 miles, whereas it should get bigger, right? Because the Earth is curving away.
That's right.
So at first, that may seem impressive. You have an F-16 pilot saying that by his experience, the Earth doesn't drop away when you fly in a straight line. But if you listen to the whole thing carefully, what he says is this never occurred to him back when he was actually flying his F-16s. This is something he only thought of recently after he became a flat earther conspiracy theorist.
So we need to understand something, that lies, they shatter your reality. And truth brings things back into perspective. Right. So in this system, and through the media and individuals, we're deliberately fed misleading information. And that shatters your reality. It means you become compliant when you believe those lies. So what is this pilot saying? Well, he's saying that in his experience as an F-16 pilot, his reality was shattered, right? And he's putting things back in place. And so now he's beginning to understand important things. For example, that he was flying over a level, flat plane. And what helped him come to that conclusion was his instruments, specifically radar. So we know that radar works on a flat level surface. Microwave signals and signals work on a flat level surface. Microwave signals and radar do not work on a curved surface. We're going to prove it. So the whole point about the radar is, in this F-16, the altitude of the other aeroplane, right, in your radar is based on your altitude. So all three airplanes here must have the same system. They must be basing their measurement on the same ground level. Right? Otherwise the radar wouldn't work. Because if the Earth was curved, what is the actual altitude of that aeroplane in relation to your altitude? It's not the same. So the radar must work on a flat level plane. And as that gentleman said, that F-16 pilot said, right, that it's just basic one-on-one understanding that an aeroplane flies over a fixed, non-rotating level surface. So when you understand the truth, then the lies shatter. And that's the point. Either your reality gets shattered by the lies and the deception and the system that we live in, or you focus, your perspective comes together, and then you'll see the lies, and the lie shatters.
Shattered mirror, truth breaks free. Open eyes, reality. Lies they've told for centuries, hidden in their mysteries. In the sky, no bend or curve. Flat earth truth we must preserve. Break free from the deception now. See the world as it truly is. Mirror shards reveal the lie. Flat earth truth in our eyes.
Also sounds like he's kind of an all-purpose conspiracy theorist, this guy. And he's saying, well, maybe some current fighter pilot will do this experiment that he never did and never thought to do. But he thinks that the basic claim is if you're flying a jet, straight and level, that therefore the Earth should drop away as it curves underneath you, and that doesn't happen, therefore the Earth is flat. Okay. This claim is all over the internet as well, and a lot of experts and pilots have weighed in on it, and the bottom line is that this is just simply not true. None of this is true.
If the horizon is in front of this F-16, the horizon must decrease and increase. It's logical. Now let's listen how this person, he tries to shatter your reality by obviously feeding you bullshit. Now let's listen.
So first of all, when a jet or a plane is flying straight and level, they're not traveling in a Euclidean straight line. How does a jet stay level? It does so either on autopilot or by the pilot themselves making adjustments. What the autopilot does is it has an altimeter, how it keeps the altitude above the ground, either above the ground or by air pressure. I think most of them now use air pressure, because then the air pressure altitude won't vary as the ground is varying underneath you. And it just keeps it the same by making constant little adjustments, right, in order to keep trim, keep true, keep quote unquote straight.
So this airplane is flying in a straight line around a curve, quote unquote, a Euclidean straight line. It's complete bullshit. This airplane's flying on a curve. Right? So it's important for these people to have control over you, that your perspective remains shattered. And that's what gives them dominion over you, because their authority over you is actually zero. These people have no authority over you, and so they have to bullshit you into accepting their authority.
Therefore, you are flying in a straight line relative to the frame of the surface of the Earth. You are flying around the curvature of the Earth. That's how the autopilot works. Therefore, you are flying in a straight line relative to the frame of the surface of the Earth.
Right. So you're flying in a straight line around a bend, because you're going around a bend.
And if you're flying manual, you're constantly making little adjustments. You're not locked in a perfectly straight line. You're keeping your plane adjusted, and you're following the curvature of the Earth. It's as simple as that. That's how navigation works. This is every pilot who has addressed this question basically says the same thing. That's the way it works.
No, not every pilot, because he's a pilot, and he's saying that's not how it works. And there are many, many other pilots who are saying, no, the Earth is flat and level, otherwise your instruments won't work. So it's important that we question these things, because when we see the truth, our perspective comes together and the lies become evident and the lies shatter. So let's continue.
Curved Earth, gravity is going to keep you going around the Earth. You would have to actually be accelerating away from the Earth, climbing an altitude in order to maintain that Euclidean straight line.
A straight line is a straight line. It is what it is. So if a pilot takes off He's basing his altitude on what? On the ground level. If he takes off, his height must increase to his climb and to his height above the curve of the earth. That doesn't happen. Right, so think carefully. The further this aeroplane flies and at the angle of his ascent, when he reaches the peak, he now must descend all the way back below where he took off from. The only way that this aeroplane can take off, reach a certain altitude, now fly level with the curve of the earth, is that the ball has to move. You have to move the ball with the aeroplane. That's the only way this aeroplane can fly in a straight line around a curved surface. So this person, what's this idiot's name? The Skeptic's Guide, a complete idiot.
Straight line, that wouldn't be automatic. Gravity itself is going to tend to keep you flying, around the Earth, right? Because gravity's still there, it's still pulling you towards the center of the Earth. And also the atmosphere is curved around the surface of the Earth as well. And there's a thing of aerodynamics, right? You're not in space. You're flying through the air. You're flying through a curved blanket of air, that's going around the surface of the Earth as well.
We've got some curved air, right? So the pilot, he just turns left and right. If he takes off, turns left and right, and he lands, and gravity will fly the airplane around the ball. That's what he's saying. And the pilot has no idea what's happening, and the pilot has to do nothing. Just turn left and turn right. No, it's bullshit. He's lying to you. Right? So let's look a bit more about what he was saying about if gravity was real and it's pulling you to the center of the earth. Right, so what if the airplane is flying around the top of the ball? Where would the gravity be pulling the plane? Not straight down. It would depend on where this airplane is flying. Look, let's use an example. Here we have a azimuth equidistant map. Pilots in the northern hemisphere, that's where the majority of the flights are taking place. So, they'll always illustrate it like this. When they speak about it, they'll say, well, gravity is pulling the airplane around the core. That's the only way that gravity can pull the plane down. So whether he's flying north or south, east or west, they're saying this is what happens. But it's not true. So how? How do we know? Well, flights in the northern hemisphere. A plane flight from New York City that's going to Japan or going to the UK, Ireland, wherever. And as this ball rotates, where would gravity be pulling the airplane? Not around the curve of the ball. How is gravity making this airplane fly around the curve of the ball? It'd be pulling it to the center of the earth. So how does this work? So remember, when you question and you put into practice, you apply what they're telling you, you'll see that it's complete garbage. It simply doesn't add up. It doesn't work. So we are being deliberately deceived.
Factors, flying straight and true means you're following the curvature of the Earth.
So what does straight and true mean? No. How can you be flying straight and true? Right. Right, so according to this man, if you're flying straight and true, you're flying crooked. Because his models are crooked. You need to understand that these people are deceiving you for a purpose. It's to get control over you.
That's what it means. That's how it works.
Now, straight and true and level is level. Crooked is crooked. There's a difference. They're not the same thing.
So this notion that, if you flew straight, you should be pulling away from the Earth, just simply isn't true. Now, if you tried to fly manually so that you weren't making any adjustments for the curvature of the Earth, and the autopilot wasn't making any adjustments, and you were doing your best to travel in a Euclidean straight line, then the surface of the Earth would pull away from you. You would climb in altitude. You would have to be climbing in altitude to maintain an actual straight line. Again.
So don't let them deceive you into believing that crooked is straight. Straight is straight, and crooked is crooked.
And that's not generally what pilots do when they're flying straight. They're following the curvature of the Earth. So this one is just silly. It really is just silly. And it's, this video is trying to lend it some gravitas because the person making the silly claim used to be a fighter pilot 20 years ago.
He's saying that a pilot cannot fly in a straight line, that this pilot would have to make a special effort to fly in a straight line. It's complete garbage. Right? It's deceptive information. And the only way you're going to break free from these people is if you stop and think for yourself. Ask your own questions, draw your own conclusions.
But this is not based on their experience as a fighter pilot. It's based on their recent conversion to flat Earth conspiracy theories, and now they're just speculating about what they might have experienced, 20 years ago or whatever.
No, this F-16 pilot still has that experience. His experience is legitimate. So this skeptic's guide is trying to minimize that experience.
Reject the puppet show they play. See the fight it every day. Down with the tales that bind. Awake your eyes, awake your mind. Fly, rock, rumble against the lies. Question everything, ain't disguise. Look around, no curves, no spin. Truth within, resistance begins. They've reached the raglands of the sky. Stars that twist and turn up high. But ask yourself, don't you see?
It carries absolutely no weight. If you listen to actual pilots today, they'll tell you, no, you follow the curvature of the Earth. That's how it works. If anything, this all just is more evidence for the fact that the Earth is a sphere, as if we needed one more among the many hundreds of definitive lines of evidence that tell anyone who is thinking in the slightest bit objectively and clearly that the Earth is a sphere and it cannot possibly be flat.
Right, so if the Earth's a ball, it has to spin and move. So basic common sense tells you that there's a problem if the Earth's a ball and it's rotating and spinning. An aeroplane that flies from A to C has to fly that distance at the same speed and the same time as an aeroplane flying from D to A and B to C. It's common sense. The airplanes are flying at the same altitude, same speed, same distance, same time. So let's compare it. If the Earth isn't moving and if the Earth is moving.
Earth ain't no ball, couldn't be. Look at the horizon, where's a curve? Truth in the mirror, shattered glass. Break free from the web of deceit. Lying blue ain't endless. Reality folds in the flat. One step from the edge, crack shown. Escaping whispers that fly alone. Flat earth, truth ain't no myth. Break the chains, reality's gift. Shattered mirror, breaking free. See beyond the veil of false decree. Books been preaching lies for long. Deep oceans hide the wrong. World's no end, still they claim. Flat, we're walking in this game. Flat earth, truth ain't no
Right, so we can see. Remember, if the Earth's a ball, it has to spin and move. And the distance and time and speeds that aeroplane flies tell us that the Earth is not moving.
As believed or described by the flat earthers.
So understand, what is the point here? Is that when you fall victim to their lies, they gain control and sovereignty over you. You hand over your power to them. When you see yourself and how important you are as a human being, and how important your reality is, then you understand that you're free. You're free to believe whatever you want to believe. The only way that they can get control over you is to break your perspective, break your understanding of who you are and what you are.
You realize that they have to progressively dispense with basically all of science in order to maintain.
As I said before, man's an idiot. Here's a criminal. He's in a court of law. He's been found out lying to the judge. Then he says to the judge, okay, well, you got me, I lied. But now I'm going to tell you the truth. What will the judge say? The judge will say, oh, look, hang on, let me get some popcorn. Because the judge knows that whatever comes out of this person's mouth is going to be entertainment. It's not real. Because you're not going to know when he's speaking the truth or when he's lying to you. So anything that this person says must be rejected. It's common sense. So let's look at some dumbass ball science. They'll say, here's Pythagoras' theorem. You can use it to calculate the distance from the observer to the horizon. Well, it's stupid. So how? You just need to apply the information. Well, it would depend on where the aeroplane is flying, its aeroplane's flight path. I just think, if what they're saying is true, that's how that aeroplane would be flying. It's complete bullshit. It's insanity, right? And if the aeroplane is flying in this circle, then all of that must change. So it depend on the pilot, where he's flying. It will depend on where the pilot's flying. And if he turns 180 degrees behind him, the ball can't be behind him now. It's nonsense. Right, the only way a aeroplane can, the only way an F-16 can turn around is if he's flying over a donut and he sees the curve in front of him. It's nonsense. It's the application of the information is misleading. So it weakens you. So it's a lie. Now, because I can see it's a lie, I reject it. They say, well, so you're going to question everything they say. Oh, yeah, of course. I'd be stupid if I didn't. These wolves, that they don't slaughter sheep on Sundays because they're righteous. Look, if you're a sheep, you're a sheep. It's a good thing. But the bucket on your head, that's your own doing. If you want to believe the wolf and they blind you, it's on your own head. If I had to ask you, right, if I said to you, science never lies, you'd say, no, that's wrong. And if I said, okay, science only makes honest mistakes, you'd say, no, that's wrong. And I'll say, science is not funded. Say, no, of course, no, it's wrong. Science is funded. And science is not about profit. You say, no, science is about profit. And if I ask you, are you delusional? You say, no, I'm not. But you must be, if you believe everything science is telling you. You're delusional. You're an idiot. Now, if I reject what science is, according to this person, there's something wrong with me. No, he's an idiot.
This fiction, right? Like a flat Earth would collapse under its own gravity. There's no way something with the surface area of the surface of the Earth, if it were flat, right? That the gravity of the mass itself would just collapse it into a sphere, which it has. That's why the Earth is a sphere.
Look, it's just more garbage from this guy. For the sun to exist and the earth to exist, the gravity would have to exist before, because something's got to pull it into a ball. But the gravity can only exist after the ball is created. So what caused it to fall in on itself? The gravity would have to have been there for the sun and for the earth before the sun was created by gravity and the earth was created by gravity. It's complete nonsense.
So they say, okay, well, let's just get rid of gravity. Gravity doesn't exist. Say, okay, but then why do we feel like there's gravity? Say, well, we must be accelerating at 1g. Okay, so the entire universe is accelerating at 1g in order to create this fiction of gravity. But what about when you're on the moon? Because the moon, which is obviously a sphere, and the other planets, even the one.
And this is science. When science tells you this garbage, if you don't question it, then you're putting that bucket on your head. That's your own head. It's on your own soul.
That we could see spinning relative to us. How does that whole acceleration at 1g work with other planets, with other worlds? Then, of course, you have to reject all science. It's a big conspiracy. Well, because we never went to the moon, and every amateur astronomer with a telescope around the world is lying to you. It's like it becomes so self-evidently absurd if you think about it for even a moment.
Right, so now he outright lies. Right. He's giving you misleading information. So it's shattering the reality. Right. It's more lies from this person. Look, flat earthers understand that the earth is not moving, not up, left, right, in any direction. The earth is fixed, it is not moving. So he's giving you misleading information. Right, so what is this we went to the moon nonsense? Did we go to the moon? No, 24 people went there and made that claim. Who's we? The whole human race? Did he go to the moon? Did you go to the moon? Did I go to the moon? No. So who's this we? See, that's part of how they speak. It's that bullshit to convince you that what they're saying is true. Right, so this man is just, he's an idiot with a gun. He's going to shoot himself in the feet, shoot himself in the head. He's an idiot. So think about it, if an aeroplane is flying at an angle, right, so that he can see the horizon dead ahead of him. If that aeroplane turns around 180 degrees, he must keep his same attitude. Therefore, the horizon must be below him, so he would have to readjust for that. And he'd have to recalculate the horizon on every turn he makes. So think about it.
Questions crush the chains of
So remember, knowledge is power. Facts and information. What is power? If they have certain information, it gives them dominion and control and sovereignty over you. Deceptive information or wrong information, deliberate deception, weakens you when you believe those lies. That means you've got an enemy. Look, there's a scripture in Revelation, and if we read through the section in Revelation, it will help us understand something important. In the book of Revelation, this angel comes down from heaven. He lifts his right hand up to the sky. In his left hand he has a scroll, right? And he swears by heaven, and he swears by the earth, and he says, time is up. So Revelation speaks about Satan being let loose out of the abyss. And he goes to the four corners of the earth to deceive the nations. So why? It's to gain control. When you believe the satanic lie, and Satan gets control over you because you become under his spell, you come under his control. So this angel that came down, right, he has the sun arrayed around his head and a rainbow. Who is this angel? And what is he standing on? So you need to think about it for yourself. Right, when Jesus said, but I say to you, do not swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. He said, let your yes mean yes, and your no, no. Because everything more than this is from the evil one, Satan. So this angel that swears by heaven and by the earth must be Satan. So you have an enemy who wants to deceive you. And it's up to you whether you allow yourself to be deceived. So if I question that and I say, but listen, I've got problems with what you're telling me, and I can point out, this is what the problems are, and this is how I can tell that you're lying to me, well, they can't have that. Then they have to do damage control. Right, so remember, let's look at it on a broader perspective. We were created in God's image, right? So when they shatter that image, that is ultimately the real shattering that's happened. That you become distant from the Creator. The lies blur who you are and who the Creator is. Remember, we're all created in God's image. And there are godless people who are trying to convince you otherwise. So look, I hope this video is giving you pause, stop, reason and think. Ask your own questions, draw your own conclusions. Cheers and thanks for watching.
Lies they pouring, dripping from their tongue, saying earth is spins and we're all strung around the sun. The sky hung tight, but my head says no, it ain't right. Square it is where we stand tall, no ball, no spin, just fixed all. They drown us out with twisted tales, but our truth, it never fails. Fire it is where we stand tall, no ball, no spin, just fixed all. They drown us out with twisted tales, but our truth, it never fails. Flat our rock against the lies, question everything, ain't disguised. Look around, no curves, no spin, truth within, resist begin. They preach their amens of the sky, stars that twist and turn up high. But ask yourself, don't you see, there's no motion, we live freely. Defy the charlatans in white, every classroom just to fight. Stand firm with feet on ground, we're steadfast, not going round. Reject the puppet show they play, see the fight it every day. Down with the tales that bind, awake your eyes, awake your mind. Fly rock rumble against the lies, question everything, ain't disguised. Look around, no curves, no spin. Truth within, resistance begins. They've reached the fragments of the sky. Stars that twist and turn up high. But ask yourself, don't you see? There's no motion, we live freely. Let's begin. They've reached the fragments of the sky. Stars that twist and turn up high. But ask yourself, don't you see? But ask yourself, don't you see? There's no motion, we live freely. Defy the charlatans in white. Every classroom just a fight. Stand firm with feet on ground. We're steadfast, not going round. Reject the puppet show they play. See the flatten every day. Down with the tales that bind. Awake your eyes, awake your mind.